everybody. It's Thursday night, 9 o'clock. So I've been doing this now almost a year, and three times this week, people have told me, or someone have told someone else, that they'll watch the video, and I guess they watch it when it's not live, and they see me in the beginning going, hello, and they're like, what the hell is this chick doing? So anyway, I'm not gonna wait till anybody's on anymore. I'm just gonna go straight on and talk. So if anybody hops on close to the beginning and they miss anything, just go back and listen to it. Anyway, so tonight, what I wanted to talk about was protector versus teacher. God, I can't even remember where I first heard that. It was just recently. I was reading something and they had said, should the parent be the protector or the teacher? And I think, instinctively I automatically said that they should be the teacher. But if I think back to what things were like with Spencer when he was younger, certainly I was the protector. Here he was. Keep in mind, Spencer's going to be 18 in March. So, 17 years ago, no one had heard of autism. No one understood it. So I was out there really, really pounding the pavement, educating the teachers, the preschools, even the pediatricians. I had to educate everybody. So I was very much the protector. Anytime something would happen at school, I would automatically jump in and say, oh, we have sensory issues, we have these kinds of issues, those kinds of issues, and automatically go into protective mode. So much so that anytime Spencer had a problem, I always said, don't worry, mommy's gonna take care of it. I will take care of it, I will handle it, mommy will take care of everything. And it was amazing, and it definitely served its purpose, because in the beginning, or when Spencer was younger, when he was having so many different problems at school, adapting, different things like that, he knew that no matter what, I had his back and that I was absolutely unequivocally going to handle things. He's a baby. I mean, my God, this child can't speak up for himself. So for sure, when you have young children, you have to be the protector. But at a certain time, that shift does have to take place from protector to teacher. So when does it take place, and when should you be doing those certain things, and when should you be teaching other things? So as I said, when Spencer was younger, I certainly was like mega protecto mode. And I would say that it probably lasted a little too long. The protecto mode lasted through middle school, and I think that that is the time that you really need to be, even before that, when they are in elementary school, you really need to be shifting from protector to teacher. So, okay, so as I said, I was super crazy protective when Spencer was younger. Now he's in middle school. I'm still being super protective, maniac. And I've told this story before on my Facebook Live, but when Spencer was being bullied in, I think it was sixth grade, I went psychotic ballistic on the dean of students. And that's not a pretty look for a parent, I have to say. That's not a pretty look. Get your shit together. Don't wig out. You certainly can get a lot further if you don't act like a psycho. But I have to say, in my defense, that was the protective person. That was full mama bear. Right there was full mama bear. These kids were messing with my son. I was like definitely gonna go psycho on them. But again, he was in middle school. So, there comes a time where these skills need to be taught. So what was the problem here? Spencer was being bullied. What is it that I need to teach him? So we have to start teaching. Sixth grade seems like yesterday. Oh my God. Hi, Jorge. It's the things that I have to start teaching him when you're getting bullied is, how to stick up for yourself, how to protect yourself, how to, handle those types of things within your peer group, those types of things. Now, there's a lot of bullying that children just can't take care of. And I had stepped in, as I said, and went to the school, and they were telling me, back off, back off. It is time for you to step back. And I was like, what are you talking about? This has been my role for forever, is being his mama bear protector. So it was a weird transition for me, not stepping in and solving all the problems. Now, one thing that's really important to remember as parents is it feels really good to come in and save the day a lot of times. And particularly as the children are getting older and they're pulling away from us more and more and becoming more and more independent, if there's a big grand problem, sometimes it still feels really good to come in, swoop in, save the day, and be that mighty protector. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes it still should be a teachable moment. And, you know, I think that I've kind of categorized parenting in the protecto mode, mama bear mode, teaching mode, and then the listening mode. You have to know when to do one of those three things. So, as I said, when they're younger, you can definitely protect. And I think it's good for the children to see you doing this. A, it makes them feel cared for, and B, let them know that this is eventually what you want them to be doing for themselves. So I believe strongly in self-advocating. And, you know, when does it become that slippery slope of not calling the teacher and doing all that kind of stuff? So I would say when you are somewhere in elementary school, it's time to start putting some of the ownership on those things on the children. So that's where you get the teaching part of parenting. So when I said, are you protecting or are you teaching? So keep in mind that we can't just continue to do for our children. We have to teach, we have to guide, and then we have to sit back and sort of let it happen. So now Spencer is going to be 18 in March, and he got himself the new iPhone. He pays for it, and he took care of ordering it online. They send it right to your house, and then you have to send it back. They had a certain amount of time that you could send it back. And I remember asking him, oh, did you send your iPhone back yet? No. Now, am I going to ask him 100,000 times? Oh, hell no. Hell no, I'm not going to. Did I think that he was going to flop on his face? Yeah, I was actually pretty sure he would. So he tells me, and he had a band concert this week, and then he had a practice this week. So he had the concert last night. Was it last night? I can't even remember. And so Monday and Tuesday, I think he was busy. Anyway, so he had all this kind of extra stuff that he was dealing with. And then he was like, oh, I was so stressed out. In the middle of the day, all I could think about was how I had to get my phone back. He ruined his entire day. But I think he learned that, you know, that ultimately is his responsibility. P.S. I was at UPS that day and could have done it for him, and definitely did not offer it because he waited till the last minute. He had the whole weekend. He had the week before. You know, listen, this is a child that can get his shit together and get himself to a car show at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday. I don't think that I'm going to take care of the phone. This is so important that you give these responsibilities to the children when they're still in high school so that they have these skills, these life skills. I think that today, parents don't know when to stop protecting, saving the day, doing for the kids, and letting them do it for themselves. So I even taught Spencer how to iron. And again, he called me, he was freaking out. Where was I? Oh, I was with Peyton at yoga, and he had his concert, and he was getting dressed, and he called me freaking out about the iron or something. I don't even know. And I was like, babe, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know, just try and clean it off or something. And he did. But, you know, how many times as a parent are we going to tell our children not to wait till the last minute to get something done. I mean, I'm sure my mother still tells me the same thing. You know, if a person wants to learn, they're going to learn. But I think at some point you just have to even stop with all of that. But I think it's really important that after your children reach a certain age in elementary school, that you really do look at yourself as the teacher. It is your job to teach your child how to be ready for the world. That's really what I think of when I think of my job. So it's so much easier. How much easier is it for us to just do something for our kids? Like, here, just give it to me. And then not teach them how to do it so that they can do it again the next time by themselves. That's what we want to do. We want to teach our children these skills. So like I said, in the beginning of this year, Spencer went in and he introduced himself to his teachers and discussed his 504 plan. That was because I had been teaching him for years how to do that and finally let him go on his own. Now, for many years, I did it for him, and that was my protective mode. That was when I would go in every year before the school year even started and explain all of Spencer's needs, because he went to a private school. There was no IEP, and, you know, just explain certain behaviors, things that had to be done through the school, through the teacher, that kind of stuff. That's the protective mama bear. And, you know, that protective mama bear is the same person who doesn't like to see their child fail, doesn't let them fall on their ass and learn how to pick themselves up. That is too protective. So you want to be careful with that and let them, as they start to get into elementary school, start to really pull back on that and start that sort of teaching moment. And then, as I said, then it becomes just the listening moments where all you do is sort of listen, because those teachable moments are no longer in existence. So that is really all I have tonight. It just struck me because, as I said, I saw it in a newsletter that I had gotten or something like that, and I thought, oh my gosh, you know, I think a lot of times we fall into that category of overprotecting. And so I think it's important that we transition and shift to teacher and understand that that really is our true role, is to teach our children how to be able to protect themselves, really, so that they can go off into this world by themselves. That is it for me tonight, you guys. It's getting ready. It's like the kids only have a couple more weeks of school until Christmas and Hanukkah. That is it. I will see you guys next week. We're going to have a cold front here in Florida, so that's nice. And that is it. You guys had no questions tonight. Wow. All right. Bye, you guys. See you next week.